everyone. Welcome to Lapis Lazuli. Always encouraged. This is Liz.
And this is Mike.
Yeah, so we are here today. Really excited that we can be able to share some of the lessons that we've been learning. So welcome to Lapis Lazuli. We always say at Lapis, Jesus is our firm foundation. He is the one who keeps us going.
That's true.
And so even in our marriages, in 2022, I hope you're having a great year so far.
Yeah.
That even as we continue, that Jesus is the one who will continue guiding us and allowing us to be able to have even a great marriage. As we've always said, that marriage is not always easy, but with Jesus, we are able to do it. So we are going to be sharing a few things.
Yeah, that's very true. I know last time we did a video that was talking about relationships. Today we would just continue on that line so that we can give some tips about marriage. Some of them have helped us, and we thought that we could also share together so that we can learn as we go along in this wonderful journey.
Yeah, so we want to talk about some things or some tips that when we learn in our marriages, we are able to have a strong foundation. One of the things that we say is the foundation we found a relationship on is very, very crucial. It's the most important. I think it's in Corinthians. The Bible talks about the foundation that we build on. And so if we build on the right foundation, and definitely, first of all, we always say that Jesus is our firm foundation, and then there are some things that if we put, then they are able to help us. So today we'll talk about 3 of them. So be our guests. Please sit back and just put on the video and just listen. We still want to remind you, if you've not subscribed, this is the time to subscribe, or like our videos. So let's talk about friendship. Yes.
The Bible says that can two walk together unless they agree. So the very number one thing that is very crucial in any healthy relationship is friendship. You must be friends with your partner. And I know, especially when people get married, this is one of those things that fades over the time. The very initial times when people are dating, friendship is up there. And I think this is great, especially for those dating couples and all that, because it always almost comes automatically. But the moment people get married, then we have to literally work on marriage, on our friendship rather.
Yeah, it's so true. I think I like that point on our friendship, because it's true. Like now, I think I really appreciated when we were dating, we were great friends. I think I would always look forward to meet you, to talk. I think we would talk and, and not finish, our stories, because we are great friends. And I think that's friendship. Where you seek, and it's actually important when you start, to start with, with someone who you're friends, or build a friendship, because when you're in a relationship, this is someone you'll have the rest of your life. So you have to be interested in their stories. And I think we talked about it the last time we were talking in the last video. This is someone who has to be your friend. So I know one of the things that becomes a challenge, which I even felt at some point we found it a challenge, is when now the family starts growing, challenges starts coming, and
the society gets involved,
and so it starts testing that friendship. So like now I can think of when we had children, so like as a mother or as a wife, it's so easy to be so focused on the children, that they become the first, you're always just thinking about the kids. So what you're saying is you have to consciously know that my spouse has to be first. Actually, we always say that your friendship with God is first, and then your spouse, and then the children. But many times we put it the other way around. The children are always, because they're always there, especially when they're younger. So what you're saying is you have to consciously plan and set aside time
Yeah.
to be able to spend time
Yeah.
and build that friendship where
Yeah.
you are great friends.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the other thing about friendship is that it does not always come automatically. I think it requires some real hard work.
Yeah.
So that if you are not consistently working on it, then it deteriorates pretty fast.
Yes.
And this is the difference between a dating couple and a married couple. Because dating couples are constantly working on their friendship. They are setting dates, they are going out, they are visiting places, they are meeting and all that. But the moment people get married, they settle. And so the one thing that escapes through the window is that friendship. And it's costly because when there is no friendship, then you start dealing with many other issues, issues of trust and all those things. It just comes in because now this is no longer your friend.
Yeah, that's so true. Friendship is really key. You know, and I think as we're saying, we have to put it as a first priority.
That's true.
We have to put it as a first priority, you know, where we call, I'm trying to think some of the things that you can do that can build a friendship. You know, call one another. You know, it's not like you live in the morning and you see each other at night. You know, especially those who work in different places. Exactly. You know, look out for one another. You know,
write an SMS here and there.
Exactly.
Hi, sweet.
You know,
have you reached work? How's work this morning?
Work? In the evening, meet up. Talk.
I've just left the office. I'm coming. If you work in town and maybe some couples are in proximity, you can be taking lunch together. Like you come from your office, they come from the other office, and then, man, can we meet at such and such a place? We can have lunch together, and then somebody goes back. But that's only if you have the privilege of working close. And maybe in the same town.
That's so true. So it's, you have to be conscious about it. Sometimes even in the evening when you get home, you know, when the kids go to bed, look out for one another. You know, you can even spend 30 minutes just talking. You know, sometimes just that company of each other. You know, do you know you can actually be in the house and you're strangers?
That's true.
You know, you're strangers. You don't even talk to one another. So we believe in still just making sure that we are reaching out to one another. So that's
and just as you mentioned, let me just say something about friendship and kids. When kids come, there is just a way the kids have a way of putting a wedge between the parents. And you realize, like, now the women become too busy with the children. And so somehow the children take control of the schedule. And so you find by the time the man is coming in the evening, the lady is worn out, the child has not slept and all that. So one of the things that we will do when our children were young is by 8, we would strive and train them to go to bed. In that way, you have like 30 minutes or 1 hour after the kids have slept to catch up. And in so doing, you build up in your friendship.
Because if the kids are not asleep, you can't even talk.
You'll be running like a chicken without a head.
You get so tired. And I think that's one of the things that we would talk to the young. If you're young, maybe you have young children, start trying to figure out how can we still be friends, even in this season, because they have seasons. Like right now, our children are teenagers. You know, so right now they don't have any business. You know, they want to actually be gone as soon as possible. So we have most of the time. You know, but you know, if you don't build that relationship, you disconnect. So that even when they are older and you have all the time, you don't have anything to talk about.
That's true. The other thing that would also really help us build the friendship is throwing in gifts here and there. You know, remembering people's birthday, remembering the anniversary, you know, trying, and it doesn't need to be expensive. Now, if you can afford something expensive, amen. But it does not necessarily need to be expensive. But just the thought behind the gift sometimes really work wonders. So, and that's one of the things I know people really do when they are dating. But when they are married, then that
you start thinking, is it milk for the house I'll buy, or is it chocolate? No, you easily just go for that.
That's true.
So I think it's actually being conscious and knowing that man, when I buy this, and it doesn't have to be expensive.
Exactly.
You know, it's just putting to thought.
Yeah.
You know,
The
whatever
thought behind
the thought behind it is what
what
matters.
just kicks the relationship.
Exactly.
Okay.
Yeah. So that is a very important part.
Yes.
Yeah.
And so the next one is acceptance. Now, this comes close to friendship because you actually realize that when we are dating, that acceptance is kind of there, but it's not real and it's not deep because you do not know the person really well. Now, when the rubber meets the road, then that is the time you actually realize, what did I sign up for?
Yeah.
And for me, that's where acceptance really come in. Because you must or should be able to accept your partner for you to enjoy that relationship.
It's true.
What do you think?
You know, actually, this is a very, what do I call it? It's a very important part of a marriage. Acceptance. You know, when we get married, many times, many wives, I have talked with many wives, and we start a project to change our spouse.
You are on a mission.
We have a mission, you know, to change this guy.
There are so many things you don't like, and you are feeling like, wow, I had not seen this thing, but this is my opportunity now. You better change now than later.
And sometimes it's very unknowingly, sometimes it's we know, you know. So one of the things that we have to know is that there is no way you can change a person.
That's true.
You have no power to change a person. You can actually only change yourself. You know, so I know even when we got married, there are things that you look at them so differently.
That's true.
We are so different. We look at things so differently. We think differently. We have different strengths and weaknesses. So as you're saying, you cannot change. There are things that we have to accept.
That's true. You know, one of the passages that really encourages or emphasizes on this is the book of Romans, chapter 15, verses 7. What does it say? Accept one another then, just as Christ have accepted you, in order to bring praise to God. Paul, talking to the Romans, actually just realized that, you know what, acceptance is so key. And there are 1,001 reasons for not accepting one another. You get into the house, man, and you actually just realize that, man, the way this person, even just the way they were raised up, they're just telling you some of the stories about their backgrounds, and now you can see them manifesting themselves in the marriage. Then you just hate and you just detest. And we are saying that it is important to accept. Now, there are certain things that may change in a marriage.
True.
But there are also quite a number that will not change. And this starts from the physical to the emotional to the spiritual and all that. Now, as a married couple, we'll definitely work on several things that can change, and we are trusting in God that He will help us change. But we can never be on a mission to change each other. That you will be frustrated. You will really, really be frustrated big time. And so accept. What do we need to accept? What are some of the things to accept?
Wow. I'm trying to think what to accept. I think there are many things to accept in one another. One is accepting maybe somebody's personality.
That's a huge one.
You know, I know, like now, even for us, we are that even today as we are making the video, I think there are things that come up and you're like, we are so different, you know. So accepting the other person and accepting that this is how they think, this is how they are, you know, but I accept
their perspective,
you know,
their view.
Their view, they're looking at things so differently, you know, and that's actually the beauty of marriage. Because if we are just the same, again, you can imagine how boring it would be. When we are different, many times, by the way, apparently, when we were dating, like for example, the things that attracted us to each other, as we got into marriage, we realize
they are the ones that now kind of tend to bring you apart.
Exactly.
Because now you are really getting the real package of it, which apparently you had not counted the cost much about. And so you actually just realize that, wow, this is. No, but I think for me, the other things that we really need to accept are the physical. Because the physical, you can hardly change. If somebody is tall or short or black or white or whatever, these are the things, the color, the hair, and all those things. These are things that really cannot change. And so when you don't accept, this is when people now start to be attracted to other people, because they wanted something, they are not accepting them, or they're not getting them in their marriage, and they are now starting to fix themselves on other persons.
Yeah, they're very true. Accepting the imperfections also is something else, you know, the imperfections and the appearance, as you're saying, the physical appearance, you know, where we know that I accept this person as they are, you know, so I think that's very, very crucial.
But the other thing also is just the culture, the traditions, the belief systems, and especially, you know, when you are coming from maybe different backgrounds, so that is really, really something that we have to play.
I think it's important actually to accept someone even where they come from. You see, when you were dating, for example, we feel like I don't even care, you know, wherever he comes from. But I think as you get into the marriage, you realize you can remove Liz from Kikuyu, but you cannot remove the Kikuyu in them.
That's
you know, there is how she thinks as the person she is, how she's grown up. You know, so I think just accepting that this is the person that I got married to. Mike loves fish. I can't change that. You know?
You can only make it better.
I can make it better.
By cooking better fish.
By learning how to cook the fish. You know, so I think just what are some of those things? And I think even as we are sharing, I hope you're already thinking, what are some of the things that I need to accept my spouse? You know? So for us, those are some of the things that we realized. I think when we just got married, even how to use cutlery, you know, how to, you know, we just looked at it differently. And you know, one of the things that is funny is you might not be wrong, or like both of you could be right.
Exactly. Sometimes there's no right or wrong.
Exactly.
You could both be right, you could both be wrong.
And actually I've realized, like even sometimes we've seen even with couples, where a couple, maybe the sister or the brother makes decisions, or they are very like they make decisions, and the other person takes their time.
They are the quiet ones.
They are quiet. They think about it, you know. So you realize that, like, maybe one person is feeling like we need to buy this land like yesterday, you know, like we should have bought it, you know, and the other person is feeling like
why don't we take
time? Let's take some time, you know.
Do some groundwork.
Let's go. Let's seek advice. Let's do this. Let's do this, you know. And the other person is feeling like, no, you know, now
the opportunity is going.
This opportunity will never get such a land. Do you know? You might actually realize you need both.
Exactly.
And you need to accept that we are different, we look at it different, and both are very important.
Exactly, because that difference really is what brings in. You know, when the Bible says two are better than one, because they have a good return of their work. Now that is where you actually reap the fruit of two being better than one.
Because sometimes the one who is in a hurry to buy can easily really get into so many troubles, you know, because they are risking and they can really get into so much. And the other person brings in the other perspective, the balance of, wow, okay, why have we prayed about this first? Have we thought about it? So don't look down on each other. You know, the person who is quiet, don't look on the person who's decisive and feel like, you know, why are you too quick? You are too risky. You are putting us into trouble. And the other person cannot also keep thinking, why can't you decide, you know, or whatever it is. So I think just accepting one another and bringing the beautiful result that comes when we work together.
Amen.
So, yeah, that's what I think.
Okay. So,
accepting somebody's past is the other thing. You know, and you know, we all have come from somewhere. So all of us have come from somewhere. I came from somewhere, Mike came from somewhere before we met.
Yeah.
You know, we all both have had our past. Now, the most important thing about our past is sharing it.
Yeah.
Don't let your spouse find out your past.
And some of them very sensitive past.
Yes.
And then only to discover.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, so share with one another. Let it be. I know one of the things we encourage couples, by the time you're getting engaged or after engagement, by this point, you need to at least share some of those sensitive things. You know, like now if you have a child somewhere, you know, or if you've had something, you know, there are things that you want to be able to share with your spouse.
Yeah.
You don't want to be to start your marriage, as we say in the foundation, with lies. You know, where we
or suspicions,
you know, also where you're keeping things for yourself. You know, that is one of the things that really can destroy our relationships. So we were saying we were on the point of accepting each other's past. Yeah, so after you've shared and you're vulnerable with one another, because again, it's important to be very vulnerable as we share about our past. You know, some of those pasts are sensitive.
Yeah.
So letting your partner or your mate, you know, really feel like, wow, I've accepted you. But don't use their past to attack them.
Yeah.
You know, because sometimes
that's what people do most of the time.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You know, so anytime they're having a fight or you're having a fight, you start bringing somebody's past.
Which they shared very vulnerably, very innocently, in good faith.
Yeah.
But now you are using their past against them.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You know, so don't attack each other on the past. That's actually allowing the devil to have a foothold in that marriage.
Yeah.
But accept their past.
Yeah.
Accept that if you feel things, if you still have questions, ask. You know, it's important to talk and ask, so that you're clear with one another.
Yeah.
You know, and so once you're clear with one another, finish the past and leave it behind you both, you know, as we help one another heal and we continue. Yeah. That's what I'm thinking. I don't know if there is anything else.
No. I think I really appreciate that. The past is very key, because you know, the past also just shape our future in a way. And so the moment you get married, it is time to synchronize the past and also use the past as a springboard for the future, but without you know, using it against each other, because it is
And I'm also trying to wonder, you know, some of the pasts maybe some people have experienced were painful, and maybe they were caused by the spouse. And I think that's where maybe we also talk about forgiveness. Where we are able to reach to a point, you know, and it's important to get help, you know, if you need help, you know, but talk about it to a point that you can be able to even forgive, you know, so that we don't keep going back to that past. But we also respect. I know that there are people who've gone through so much, you know, and they're still healing. But one thing that we are saying is we must reach the level of acceptance, you know, and accepting the person, you know, it's like accepting the whole package, you know, and so that you can be able to move on.
Man, this topic of acceptance seems to be deep. I think we could even just do one whole video.
We'll keep talking about this
on acceptance. But I think the other thing to accept is economic status. I know couples who, man, they got married and they thought, wow, this was maybe the richest guy and all that, and something happens. And man, the guy has lost his job, or the lady has lost her job, and things have drastically change, and for a minute we are taken off balance, but we are not accepting the fact that when you are getting married, you are not getting married for the money. You are marrying the person, and the personality is still there. Things might have changed, but when you accept this person, you are even encouraging them to spring back after whatever happened has happened. Just to get to know that, wow, It's not now less because they don't have a job.
It's true.
It's not now less because they don't have money.
Yeah.
But I still accept you. And the few couples I've seen doing this, man,
they fight
they are
together.
able to scale walls.
Yes, it's true.
Because it's for better or for us.
Yeah. And you know, sometimes they say even when we lose jobs or when we go through a crisis, it's an opportunity.
Yeah.
So you might actually be looking down on the person.
Yeah.
And yet God will bless them at some point.
Exactly.
And He blesses him more if we work together. So so it's true. I totally accepting each other's economic status is very, very key.
Yeah.
Amen.
And the list can go on and on and on.
Yeah.
So we can discuss maybe some of them at another time.
Amen.
So the third and the final one that we are going to discuss for today is compromise.
Yeah.
Compromise.
Yeah.
What is compromise? Compromise is it's just the state of give and take.
Yeah.
You know, when you are compromised is it's not low quality, but when you are compromising in a relationship, it's where when somebody is up there, they can consciously make a step down to be able to get this one who is down.
Yeah.
And when you are down here, you are also consciously making a step upward so that we are able to meet at a certain point. Basically, what we are saying, when we are compromising, we do not have our strong stance.
Yes.
That means this is what I believe, this is how I know it, this is how it should be done. But here I'm saying, I could be wrong.
Yeah.
Or rather, I also get to hear what you are saying.
Yeah.
And can we meet somewhere? So that no one is feeling like they are also losing too much. Because one of the costs that is so painful in a marriage is when one of the partners feels like, wow, this is not a good deal. It's a road deal. I've just left everything. And when the other person is also thinking, I've forgone everything. But when we are compromising, we are saying, let me come down, let you come up, let's meet somewhere. And so we can meet in the middle. And that is a great principle to always have in a marriage, because it will always settle so much.
That's so true.
Yeah.
Yeah. Compromise is not an act of weakness.
Yes.
Yeah. It is actually a demonstration that you care for something or for someone beyond yourself.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. And there are many tons and tons of scriptures that talk about being completely humble, bearing with one another, you know, like where we accept one another, you know. So it's actually an issue of us bearing with one another. You know, it's actually kind of related. Some of these points are very related with acceptance. You know, that I accept the person, and so I go, you know, to whatever level, you know, to be able to, so that we can be able to be together, you know. So this is very key. I appreciate that, because when we look at Philippians chapter 2 verses 3 and 4, it talks about something. True.
It's saying that do nothing out of selfish ambition or vain conceit, but rather in humility consider others above yourself. Do not look only to your own interest, but to the interest of the other person. When we are compromising, we are saying, yes, I know I'm here, and I could even be right that I'm here, but I would want to look at the other side and consider my partner and bring it. Basically, people who compromise are people who are selfless. When we are selfish, then we are the ones who want to stick with ours and think like I am the one and mine has to carry the day. But people who are selfless will go down. They will compromise and they will be willing to even go several steps to meet the other person and say,
that's really, actually that's profound, you know. That you decide, it's a decision, as we are saying. It's not being forced. You see, sometimes we feel like, hey, do I have to? So that's it about compromise. It's amazing. These are really great points, even as we continue in our marriages. You know, definitely we'll continue talking and praying for one another, praying for our marriages, praying to have that friendship, praying to accept one another, and praying that we can be able to compromise so that we can be able to have the desired results.
Yeah.
So thank you so much for joining us at Lapis Lazuli. It's always encouraging. Please don't forget to drop that like, but above all, to subscribe to our channel, so that we can be able to continue sharing and learning from one another. You can also comment and just share, what is it that keeps you going? What is it? I think it's also good to just learn. Yeah.
Wow. Thanks. We appreciate. We hope that we are going to do some more and give us some more tips, some more keys on just how to thrive in our marriages and our relationships.
Yes.
Amen.
See you guys.
Bye. God bless you.
Yes.
See you
bye.
next time.